Hello, welcome to episode 135 of the Craft House Magic podcast. My name's Ellie and I'm coming to you from Norwich in Norfolk in the UK, and today is the 1st of October, so welcome everybody. I hope you've all had a lovely crafty week since the last time I've spoken to you, and I'm here to share all the things that I've been making in the last 7 days. So today I have some knitting and some cross stitch, as well as a few confessions. And some information on my shop update, which is this Friday at 7 PM. So you can find me on Instagram, Ravelry and Facebook, and I also have my own website, crafthousemagik.co.uk, where you can find my hand-dyed yarn, project bags, stitch markers, HiyaHiya knitting needles and bag making supplies. And you can find links to all those things, social media and the website, in the description bar below. I have also put timestamps to the different sections so you can skip along if you're not interested in any particular section. So let's get on with the knitting, shall we? I have a finished object. Blimey, I haven't had one of those for a while. So I have finished my Slumber shawl by Stephen West, and this is how it looks, blocked and ready to wear. And actually it is such a lovely size. I was thinking maybe it will be a bit too small if I stick to the same amount of repeats that Stephen had put on the actual pattern, but I love it. It's absolutely perfect. I've blocked it out on my blocking mat and made the wavy bits all nice and neat, and I think that that's really pretty. So the Slumber shawl is a pattern by Stephen West, and originally he did write it for using an Aran weight yarn, but I've actually used a DK, so it is a little bit lighter weight than he designed it to be, but I thought I'd wear it more if it was a DK weight rather than an Aran weight shawl. It is knitted in 2 different colourways, and they're my own hand-dyed yarns. It is, this top one is like a turquoisey bluey green, and that smells like Teen Spirit, and then I've complemented it with a sort of corally pink with similar splashes of colour in both of the colours, and this colourway is called Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now. So I used 2 skeins of each using my Merino DK yarn. I didn't actually use very much of the second skein of Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now at the bottom there. Absolutely love it. So there's 2 ways that I could possibly wear it. Around my shoulders, which I think it fits nicely. I always find that Stephen's shawls always seem to lay nice when you put them on. Let me turn right round so you can see that, what it looks like from behind. So that's what it looks like if I wear it like that. I can just sort of walk around the house with it around my shoulders, but I could also wear it as a sort of bandana, just like this. And that's equally, I think I'm equally pleased with it worn like this as well. So ta-da! I'll probably wear it like this a lot with a pair of jeans and a t-shirt, so I don't always have to sort of wear it as a proper shawl. But I'm really pleased about that. I especially love the wiggly bits with the eyelets. That's really lovely. So you're supposed to use 4 different colours for the shawl, as well as it being an Aran weight yarn, so I've changed it a little bit. I basically integrated the second colour where it said to integrate the 3rd colour in the pattern instructions. So last week I was saying that perhaps it's a bit light because I used quite pale colours, but actually I think that'll work quite nicely with some of my tops that I've got in my wardrobe. It's a lovely squishy texture. It's a sort of combination of garter stitch and stocking stitch along there, with a little highlight of the lacy bit in the middle. So I'm really pleased about that. So that's actually one of my Make 9. So that's 6 things off my Make 9 knitting list that I've completed. So I'm quite pleased about that. I've only got 2 garments and a Christmas decoration left to knit, and I've obviously saved the Christmas decoration for December to knit that sort of Christmassy feeling. So let's get on with the whips, shall we? I have a half-finished object to show you. I've been working on a test knit for the lovely Christine Gladwin from Sweet Lavender Knits, and this is the Herbsblatter sock pattern. So Herbsblatter means falling leaves, and there's a gorgeous lacy pattern all the way down the front of the foot, which is like falling leaves, which I shall show you close up in a minute because you can't really see very well on the sock blocker, but I need to tell you about the details of the pattern first. So it is knit from the top down. It has a twisted rib cuff. There is some rib down the back of the leg which gives it a nice shape around the ankle. There's a lovely twisted rib detail on the heel flap there, so it's knitted as a heel flap and gusset sock, and a standard wedge toe. But this lace is so pretty. Let's twist it round. It's going to look a little bit strange on the sock blocker, but you get the idea of what the lace looks like a little bit better rather than it being on sideways. Isn't that pretty? I think that the yarn that I've chosen is a little bit busy to show the lace's full potential, but I still think it looks really pretty. I know that Christine has got an introductory offer on this pattern, so if you are interested, do pop over to her YouTube channel. She's got a little video to introduce the sock pattern, and I will leave links to that video and also the Ravelry pages in the description bar below. So these socks are knitted in some gorgeous yarn that I picked up last year at Fibre East from lovely Julie from Suffolk Socks, and this is some of her own hand-dyed yarn. Her own hand-dyed yarn she calls yarn Tart yarns, which I think is absolutely hilarious. Unfortunately, I don't know what I've done with the ball band, and I cannot remember what the colourway is called, but I will have a look for next week and see if I can find it again. But I did buy it last year, so I don't know if she's offering the same colourway again, but she does some really nice pretty colours, and I thought that this colourway looked just a little bit autumnal, which tones it nicely in with this lacy pattern. I actually did the 56 stitch sock on 2.5mm needles, and I can't wait to cast the next one on. So that's my first work in progress. I do have a second work in progress to show you. So this project I have cast on 3 times now. We'll just see how I get on. So this is the Way Through the Woods mittens pattern by Erica Mount, and these are knitted in 4-ply yarn, and I've used blacker yarns and 2 different bases actually. So the teal colour is blacker yarns in the Jacob version of 4-ply, and this sort of creamy white is Shetland. But I thought that those colours contrasted really nicely, and it looks a little bit like a snow scene. I love this pattern because there's a little house at the top of the hand, and I just think a snow scene with a little house on, perfect. So on the other side there is a little forest, which I think is rather lovely, and I'm really pleased with the tension now. So I'm knitting these on 2.75mm needles. I did try initially to cast them on in 2.5, which is in the instructions. I found that it was a little bit tight, so I overcompensated, used 3mm needles. Decided then it was too big, so I've switched to the 2.75, and I'm using 9-inch circular needles because I think that doing colour work in the round on the 9-inch circulars is easier than having magic loop, because sometimes at the edges of magic loop doing colour work can be a bit tight at the edges. So I'm really happy about using a small needle. Round the bottom here is a Latvian braid, and there's also 2 little Latvian braids just at the top here that I've just finished, and this is basically the first chart completed, and I'm about to move on to the second. The pattern instructions, I think that there's instructions for both an integrated thumb or an afterthought thumb, so I think I'm going to just do the normal integrated one. I can't wait to wear these in the winter. They're going to be amazing, even though I think this might have been over 1.5 years ago when I cast it on for the first time. You have to be in the sort of wintry mood to knit something like this though, I think. I do anyway. So now I have some cross stitch to show you. I do feel as if I've got a less variety of crafts the last couple of weeks just because I've been so busy in the shop with the advent calendars. But I keep saying this, I'm hoping this weekend I might have a bit more spare time to do some dressmaking. Very excited. But this is how I've got on with my cross stitch. I think I'd got up to this border bit at the top, I'd got to about there, and then I worked this side, and then I've started doing this side as well, so hopefully by next week I can get that top border finished. There is also some back stitching I need to do on those leaves all the way across the top there, so it's not quite finished, that part. Excuse it being a little bit creased. I'll show you what the cross stitch is supposed to look like on the front cover. This is getting a little bit tatty now. I've had it quite some time. Like I say every week, this is a pattern by Moira Blackburn, and this was actually published in the 80s, I think. It says 1989 on the actual pattern itself, but it has been re-released, and I'll leave a link in the description bar to where you can get hold of the kit now. I think that the Ada is different, but I'm using an 18 count Ada that's got a nice sort of beigey natural tone, which I'm really pleased about. So that is coming along nicely, and my goal of doing it for Christmas, I think I'm going to reach it, hopefully. We shall see. I'm doing 20 minutes every morning, and it's really sort of building up quite quickly actually. Just those 20 minutes every day, just a little bit of me time, I'm finding is really good time to be stitching, because in the mornings the light is much better. And to be honest, I've noticed even the last week or so that the light isn't so good in the mornings even, so definitely wouldn't be able to do stitching in the evenings. So my next section is confessions, where I tell you about all the naughty things that I bought, which I probably shouldn't have really. So I have picked myself up a measuring device for buttons. Just this makes it so much easier. Instead of having to measure out on a shirt or something how far away, how far apart you need to place your buttons, I can use this. And this is made by a company called Simflex. And I'd actually tried to look for one of these before, but I couldn't find one that was available from a UK supplier. So I looked again recently after I'd seen a post by my friend Helen on Instagram, and I had another look and I found them. I'm really, really pleased. So I picked this up from a UK seller called So Essentials, and it was really, really quick postage, so I'm really pleased I got it from there rather than Amazon. I've tried to use sort of more local companies really. And you can see where you can mark your buttonholes there, and this can go really quite big actually. So I haven't used it yet, but I'm really excited to use it. But I think that that's going to be something that's going to be really useful in the future for doing shirts and things. So because I'd seen that So Essential sell these, I was just having a look to see what other sort of gadgety type things they've got on the website, and I saw that they've got an ironing mitt. Now I've never used one of these before. It's basically a padded mitten that you can actually put your hand in things to then iron on the top. It's a really nice thick padded thing to put on your hand, and on the other side there's this material that you use to get bits off things, like a lint remover, so that's going to be useful as well. This product is a Prim product, and I like I said, I bought it from So Essential as well, and I will leave links to both these products from the shop that I bought it in the description bar below, and I will also let you know how I get on with these things. I haven't really had a chance to use them yet, so I'll give you a full review later on. So that was those two naughty purchases. I also purchased some fabric again. So you might have, if you watched last week, you'll have noticed that I picked up quite a few fabrics from Rainbow Fabrics, and among them was this fabric here, which is a jersey material, which has got like a beige background with black flowers printed on the top. And I picked up a metre because I thought, oh, I'll make a top out of that. And then I realised, because the print is so big, it would be much better if I made it into a dress. So I popped back onto the Rainbow Fabrics website and I picked up another metre so that I could make a dress. And I was talking on last week's episode that I was thinking about either making a Joni Dress, which is by Tilly and the Buttons, or a Zadie Dress, which is also by Tilly and the Buttons. So I got another metre of that, and I actually got the last metre and I've measured it, and it's about 1 metre and 25 centimetres, so I got a bargain there. And that was only £5.99 a metre, I think. And then because I was buying that, I couldn't resist but to put things in my cart to give myself free postage. Now you have to spend £40 for free postage, so, but I thought, oh well, might as well enjoy myself. So I picked up 2 metres of this viscose because I thought I needed a sort of leafy shirt. So I'm planning on making a Kalle shirt. I'll put a picture on the screen of what that pattern looks like so you can sort of imagine what it might look like as a shirt. But I just love these leaves here. I think it might be called a cheese plant, I'm not sure. There's some other sort of leaves in the background as well, but I thought that that would make a lovely shirt. And actually, I'm always concerned about things creasing. This doesn't look as if it creases that much, which I think is a brilliant plus. So I don't have to iron as much because it's not so fun ironing, is it? Oh dear. So that's that one. That's a viscose. It's a lovely drapey viscose. I'd say that was a sort of a medium weight viscose, which I picked up from Rainbow Fabrics as well. So all these fabrics I'm going to show you are from Rainbow Fabrics. So Closet Core have got this jumpsuit pattern. And I know jumpsuits sound a bit like a risky thing for a bigger lady. But I thought, you know what, I'm just going to give it a go. And if I fit it nicely, it might look okay. We can always just try it out, can't we? And if I don't like it, oh well. But I just thought this fabric would be lovely. So it's got a black background, so that it's probably going to be relatively flattering, hopefully, with these dragonflies on. And this is a viscose jersey, so it's nice and drapey. But I think that'd be ideal to make the Sallie Jumpsuit by Closet Core. So we shall see how that comes out. You can see that it's a lovely soft drapey fabric. It is printed on the front, so it has got a lighter back, but actually when you stretch it, the print isn't broken up too much at all, so that's good quality. I've bought 2 meters of this one, which I already have 2 meters of black in the same print and 4 meters of the dusky pink colour as well. So I thought, well, I might as well get the full set. But now I've realised that they do a rust colour as well. But I think I'm just going to stick to these 3. That is enough of the same print, Ellie. And I'm thinking of doing some sort of blouse pattern for that one, but I'm not quite sure yet. So there's another couple of fabrics I wanted to make blouses out of as well. Now, I'm not sure about this one. I thought, when I saw it on the website, I thought that it looked nice. And actually, I don't think that that'll look too bad with my complexion, I'm not sure. But it's quite an orangey red, so I'm not sure about that. But I can always use it as a sort of wearable muslin for this one. This is a sort of a lightweight viscose as well. And that's got white daisies with a little yellow detail in the middle. I have purchased even more viscose. It's got little anchors on, so that's a black background with little white anchors on. And actually this feels quite a stable viscose. I think that's one that's not going to crease too badly as well, so I'm looking forward to making that up. I'm thinking of like a short sleeve blouse for this one as well. So also in my confessions section, I want to show you some gorgeous yarn that my friend Brigitte from Austria had sent me, and it is absolutely gorgeous. So it is, the first one I've got to show you is a Regia, however you like to pronounce it, is a premium version with a silk in it, which I think was absolutely gorgeous. Look at those colours, and it feels like soft as a cloud. Really lovely. So this is a 4-ply yarn, and let me see exactly the composition. So it's 55% wool, 25% polyamide and 20% silk. So those are going to make a lovely pair of socks for me, I think. And she sent me some lovely yarn to knit Adam some socks with as well. And this is another Regia, but it says stretch, which I think is really interesting. I've never used this one before. It does seem quite a springy yarn, so it'll be interesting to see how it knits up. And this one is 70% wool, 23% polyamide and 7% polyester. And that is a really nice mixture of sort of greys and blues. Perfect for Adam, because he does love a knitted sock. He is very knit worthy, so I shall be knitting those for him. So last of all, I've just got my shop updates to show you. So today I have quite a few more HiyaHiya products going in the shop this Friday at 7 PM. So first of all, I have new stock of the interchangeable sets that are premium plus, which means you get extra sets of needles in there. There's 8 different sizes ranging from 2.75 to 5mm needles. There is a little pocket at the top here. You get the case as well, and you get the little rubber grips to screw the needles on and off with. Some little connectors so that you can actually join 2 cables together if your cable isn't long enough, or if you want to transfer stitches from one cable to another, so you don't have to fiddle with the end of the needle. And also there's 7 different cable lengths in there, and they're all sort of labelled as the different sizes. And you also get a little sheep needle gauge, which I think is rather cute. So there's a few more of those going in the shop. At the moment I've got these turquoise ones. They do vary as to what colour I get sent when I order things. I can't specify which colours I get, so at the moment I do have turquoise ones. So I've also now got the miniature sets, so these are basically for sort of sock knitting, but the interchangeable versions, and it's the same sort of thing. So the ones I've got in at the moment are the red or the purple cases, which I think is rather lovely. But in these you get, it's the same sort of shape of case, and you get the needles ranging from 2mm and 3mm needles. The needles up to a 2.5 are this sort of miniature sets, which means that you use the miniature cables with them. And normally the larger needles, so these are 2.75 and 3mm needles, they only work with the small cables rather than the miniature cables, but there's adapters in here so that you can use the miniature cables on the slightly larger needles. Again, they come with the little rubber grips. They do vary in colour which ones you get, but if you are keen on getting a particular colour, do drop me a message and I can swap them out. And again, they come with the cables, but because these are miniature cables, they tend to be the lighter pink colour, and the miniature cables are even more supple than the small cables, so I find these really good for sock knitting. So this is the sock interchangeable set, and they'll be available in the shop in these 2 colours, so you can actually choose which colour you get. I don't know if a lot of websites let you choose them. I order them in and just see what I've got, and then I list them according to what colour, because I think if you're making a purchase like a set like this, you'd like to choose what colours you're getting. So at the moment I'll have those 2 colours for those sets, and those also come with the little sheep needle gauge as well. It's got US on one side and millimetres on the other, which is useful. So I have some fixed circular little sets, gift sets as well. So these, you open up here and there's a little flap, and you've got your circular needles. I think it's 2.25, 2.5, 2.75 and 3.5 fixed circular needles that come with these, and they are in a nice rose print. So all the ones I've got for this particular one are rose print, so there isn't another choice for the fabric, I'm afraid, but I think that that's a really pretty print. So that's your magic loop set fixed needle. I've also got some DPN sets, and they're available in 3 colours, which I think is a nice choice, so you can choose which of the colours you want. And you undo this little loop, it comes from the back and it opens out similar to the other circular needle case, with your needles in there, and you get a range of sock sizes there, so you can keep your needles all nice and neat, and there's extra spaces in all these cases in case you buy additional sets. Just a nice little gift for Christmas or birthday, or just a treat to yourself basically. Very tempted to keep some of these myself. So I've got a number of other little bits and bobs to show you that are going to go in this week's shop update, and one of those is including these cute little snips, which I think are absolutely adorable. They come in a range of colours. This is the little kitten version. Basically you can just pull out your scissors and they're well protected within the case, and they're little tiny little things so that you could pop those in your knitting bag or put them on a keyring if you wanted to. There is also a little puppy version, and all these designs are available in a number of different colours. I've just picked a few to show you, and that's the octopus. Hopefully you can see that. It's difficult to hold little things up to the camera. So there'll be those in about 7 different colours in each design. I've also got some of these really cute tape measures with the little llama on there. And they're actually quite a nice little petite small size, and they've got the standard button retraction mechanism on the back, and they've got a little handle to hold it, but you don't have to use that. But I think that they're a really nice little cute little size. I have got some darning needles actually, so I've got some sets of those. You can choose which colourway you have. There's sort of pink and blue and gold, or green, red and gold as well, so you can choose which one you'd like. I have actually started to stock some 9-inch circular needles, but I've only been able to get the steel ones in sizes 2, 2.25, 2.5 and 3mm, I think. There could be a 2.75 in there as well. But as soon as they come in stock, I'll be stocking the sharp versions. So those are the 9-inch circulars. And I've started stocking some of the 6-inch DPNs. So I've managed to get hold of quite a few sizes of the steel and sharp needles, and I've just started to stock some of the bamboo ones. As soon as they come into stock at the warehouse, I'll be putting those in the shop as and when. But there are a couple of sizes in there now. Well, in the shop update, of course. Last of all, I have got some new beaded needle stoppers to show you. So there are several colours, but I just thought I'd grab a few different colours to show you. And they're a really pretty little bead that screws into your needle if you want to take your needle tips off for use in another project, for instance, or just if you're wanting to keep stitches on a cable, you can just put these little needle stoppers on the top. I won't show you them all just because they're a bit difficult to show up, but you get the idea. If you pop over to the website, you'll be able to see all the new HiyaHiya accessories that I've got in the shop. So next week I'm hoping to get Christmas and autumnal bags and yarns in the shop. Failing that, it might be the next week. I'm just making sure that I've got all my Advents and Mistletoe Kisses sock sets sent out before I put new things in the shop. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I shall see you in the next episode. Bye!